guys? So I'm gonna show you guys what this shit looks like. I'm about to take a shower right now, so we're gonna take this shit off. After wearing it all day, like, it just feels weird just opening it up. But then from here, these are like gauze pads that you have to wear just to protect like your nipple area. And then with this one, this is the hard part. With this one, yesterday I had to just kind of like lean over just to take it off. Show you guys what this looks like. I can't even feel anything right here. But yeah, that's pretty much what it looks like right now. It's looking pretty good. That's where the drain was at. That's where the other drain was at. What's up, you guys? So this video is about becoming trans. My story, it started off, I think I was about 4 or 5 years old. When it came to that age, I think I was in kindergarten or preschool. I'm not 100% sure, it was one or the other, but it was like a private school, I believe, so it'd be like khaki pants and skirts and, you know, polo shirts and stuff like that. And so I think I would mostly wear a lot of pants. So of course that's like the first sign when you wear one thing over another. And then the shoes. I was very picky with shoes. I think at the time I was wearing Skechers. From there, like, I pretty much felt that I was different. You know, of course I had a different group of friends. I had a lot of guy friends instead of girls. And even like my backpacks and stuff like were Spider-Man. So, you know, it's like, what does that tell you, you know? But at that time, people would have called it like a stage, the tomboy phase. And I would always wear ponytails, unless if my mom changed my hair otherwise. But, you know, sometimes she would just for me to like try something else. But all the time it was just ponytails, and I hated it when it was let down. I think like about 3rd or 4th grade. I'm pretty sure it was more towards 4th grade because of Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day was such an odd holiday because, you know, it's just like, you're different, right? But at that time, like, everyone gave everybody cards, you know? It wasn't just like, you give this person a card and they give you a card because you guys like each other. But no, like, everybody gave each other a card. And I think that was like pretty good on my behalf, because if it was that other way around, obviously I wouldn't be getting anything. And I honestly really liked Valentine's Day. I don't know why, but I was such a little romantic. And I had my crushes. I'm not gonna name those people, but yeah, I had my crushes. And there's one time, I think in 4th grade, where I wanted to buy this girl, like, I think a Snoopy stuffed animal. And then I think I told my mom about the idea. I was like, hey, I want to give so and so a Snoopy, and my mom was like, what? And I think that's kind of when she caught on. But I didn't feel like it was bad, you know. I just wanted it to be nice, but my definition of nice is too nice and weird nice, and you have a crush nice, you know. And back then there wasn't a transgender theme yet. It wasn't a thing yet. And so, you know, as I got older, I think about 5th grade, I can't remember when I started basketball. I think it was on 4th and 5th grade. I started, like, I loved the sport. But I think what kind of held me back the most was that I really wanted to play, you know, guys basketball. I didn't want to hit girls, so, you know, my defense wasn't the greatest because, you know, I just don't like doing that. I didn't like being aggressive towards girls. And because Like to me, I just wanted to be nice to them. When it came to teenage years, that was the worst of my life, basically. Come here. Those were like the worst years of my life. Let me tell you why. Because obviously I had to go to the girls' PE locker room, and majority of the time, like I would get looked at, oddly, because of what I wore. And I remember I forced myself so hard to fit in, especially like wearing girls' underwear, and just so I don't get looked at weird wearing guys' underwear. And it made me really uncomfortable, to be honest. And I remember it got to the point where I just decided to change in the shower. Same thing when it came to playing basketball games. Whenever we had to go back to the PE locker room, even though there was like 8 of us or 9 of us that are there in the PE locker room, I would still go to the showers and I would change there. That's how it was, and that wasn't even the worst part of it all. When it came to middle school, I think I started dating. Yeah, I started dating at 7th grade, but I dated no one at my school. I dated online, and that was like one way not to like protect my identity, but that I honestly felt that I could be someone else, someone who I really wanted to be, and that's honestly how it started. And of course, I went on dating people and stuff like that, and um, I honestly really liked it. I liked it because I felt different. Like I felt like I could be myself, and my stories were still the same. It's just I had to change the gender role. But yeah, and stuff like that, and then especially like my character and who I am as a person, like everything was the same, except just that one difference, obviously. And um, that that went a lot in my way. It got in my way like so many times, and so coming out was just like another story. But some people were assholes about it. Like some girls were assholes about it, and some honestly understood. They understood how I felt, and they kept it that way. It's not like a hush hush type of deal, and it's not a secret. I fucking hate when people say it's a secret, because it's not a secret. It's just my personal life, and people who aren't involved in my personal life didn't need to know about that at that time of my life. And like I said, like it was hard. I came out to my mom around 7th grade, and that was because of that online relationship. And that's when I also found out about this documentary about Chaz Bono. If you don't know who Chaz Bono is, currently he is the son of Cher now. He's a female to male, and he's my very first inspiration of how I figured everything out. If you guys want to look it up, I actually watched it not too long ago before my surgery, my mom and I, just to like reoccur memories and how everything just started. And it's called Becoming Chaz, Chaz. So if you guys want to look that up, it's a documentary. It's honestly really good. I loved it then, and I love it now. Documentary with my mom. She kind of looked at me, and I looked at her like, "Is that how you feel?" And I said, "Yeah, honestly, that is." But after that day, honestly, it was like a life change. Um, Nothing happened instantly, but it definitely took a lot of waiting and a lot of time, because my mom thought that I was too young to be, doing anything to my body yet. And of course now it's a completely different time now, but then everything was different. And so my mom told me, as soon as you turn 18, do what you want. And obviously everybody knows I did this and this, but but it took a lot of waiting time. And honestly, in between those periods from 2010 to 2016, I was very depressed. Um, I was very depressed. I'm trying to remember how I felt, but I was very depressed because nothing happened, and I wasn't 18 yet. And just thinking about it, like honestly, guys, just thinking about it, how you want to change yourself and your body and become who you really want to be, it hurts. It does. It really hurts, and it fucks with you mentally, physically, emotionally. You know, because you want to like be your genuine self, but at the same time, it's like you can't, because there's just so many things that are in the way. And you know, when it comes to your parents, like just not accepting you yet fully for who you are, it's the most hardest thing to do. You know, you're their kid. You're supposed to accept you for who you are, and that's what my mom did. You know, it took some time, but she was like, okay. And I remember seventh, like late seventh grade, coming on to early eighth grade, I cut my hair finally, and that was a big deal. That was a big deal because I had super long, beautiful, thick hair. You know, just like my dad, I guess. Supposedly he had long hair in high school, but came to high school, it was very different. I've never been to a public school. I didn't know anybody. I honestly only knew about three people, three people at the time. And then when I thought about it, I was like, shit. They know that, you know, like I'm a girl, and but then I that's the part that I really can't remember. All I remember was I was just sticking to being myself. And I think when the question came, like, I don't think my friends knew how to answer that. To be honest, I don't think they did. Maybe they did. Maybe they did. I'm not sure. I probably wasn't hanging out with them at the time. But when it came to other people, it was really hard. I came up to a lot of them up front. This one time, yeah. There's this one kid that I had in my class, and he kept like kicking me, in the chair. I guess you know where your nuts would be, and so like it honestly got super annoying. And I waited till after class because you know I can hold it till after class. Like I don't have to tell him up front because then I'd be telling the whole class that. But I waited till after class when it was around lunchtime. I was like, hey dude, like can I talk to you for a second? And he was like, yeah. He's like, what's up? And I was like, I have something to tell you, and you know just try not to be weird about it. And so he was like, okay. So I told him, you know how you were kicking me in class? And he goes, yeah. And I told him I felt uncomfortable. And I told him up front, I'm like, you know what? I'm not how I appear to be. I'm, you know, a girl, and I'm transgender, and you know, I wish to be treated this way as a male. And he's like, you're joking, right? And then I was like, no, dude, I'm actually being serious about it. Like, I am, you know, FTM, like female to male, transgender, not surgically done yet, but you know, mentally, I am a male. And so then he was like, oh shit. He was like, damn dude. He's like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. And I was like, don't trip about it, you know, like we're cool being friends. Like I don't care, you know. It's just like try not to, you know, be all like open about it. Oh hey, this kid is transgender. It's just, you know, I'm transgender, and that's that. When I started having like more friends, it's not that it got harder, but when it came to the PE room, again, it was super uncomfortable. I was in the girls' room again, and there was some friends that I made in, you know, different classes, and there was this one girl, I'm never gonna forget this. I changed, and I noticed that she was changing right behind me. I was like, fuck. I was like, now how the fuck am I gonna break this? And so she turned around and she's like, oh, and you know, like all freaked out. And then I was like, shit, like this is not gonna be the best freshman year that I'm gonna have here at Bonita. And another time that happened was when I went to the bathroom, and there was this girl who I was friends. I'm not sure if I was friends with her at the time, but she got scared. I was in the bathroom, and that's where I would change from then on. After that moment, after that day, like I was changing in the bathroom, and then I saw her there, and she's like, "Oh my god!" She's like, "What are you doing here? This is the girls' PE locker room." And then I remember just sitting there. I was like, "Fuck!" I don't know if anyone else who's transgender has had this experience, but I experienced that, and it wasn't the best experience. And from then on, I was like, you know what? Something's gonna go down. I knew that something was gonna come up. And from there, when I was just being normal, going to my classes, some people would come up to me and they would tell me, "Hey, is it true that that you're a girl, or is that's all that I would hear from left and right, like just people coming up to me. They wouldn't tell me who it was, even though I know now who those people were, kind of a little bit. But that's how it went. And even to a little bit, I think sophomore year that was going on a little bit, but it died down obviously because I had better friends and I had people who were supporting me, even though I didn't tell them up front. But I'm pretty sure other people told them, but they were cool with it. And even now, like the friends that I make, all of my social media and even coworkers, none of my coworkers knew. I didn't want to tell them either because it's weird. It's just uncomfortable. It's like high school all over again, and it's something that I really hate doing. But on my behalf, I know that I have to at least educate you guys a little bit where I come from and why I am the way that I am. And so even right now, I'm like this. I'm like getting nervous, but that's just how it came about. But, like, to be 100% honest, every moment until the day that I had surgery, I have always been self-conscious of what I wear, and that's honestly what's been holding me back from wearing different clothing because of how my binders would show through my shirt. And so that's why I would always wear sweaters, and you guys already know the deal. Came to freshman year. Now the thing that stopped the bathroom PE stuff, I went to my counselor, who I can name, Mr. Smith. We discussed it and we were like, is this possible? And honestly, I was saved because at that time was the bathroom law that passed. The same day Mr. Smith pulled me out of my classroom and he told me that I'm allowed to be in the boys' locker room now. And I had discussed it with Mr. Murphy. I discussed it with Mr. Raby. There you go. I discussed it with him as well, and I also discussed it with the women PE teachers, and everyone was cool with it. They were like, yeah, sure, and they were like, good luck and stuff like that. And so from then on, everything was chill. So I really liked it. And honestly, there is a huge difference between the guys and the girls locker room. With the guys, nobody gives a fuck. You change, and with girls it's just like, oh my god, like that's so cute. Like they're super observative, I guess you could say. Honestly, after that day, like everything just got better. My grades got better. That's why I got like F's freshman year. Majority of freshman year I got F's, and then I started getting better grades. That was my elementary, that was my middle school, and that was my high school experience. So when it came to now-ish, after I finished high school at Bonita, I only did 2 years because I had a 2-year contract, and in order to keep that up, your grades obviously, so I had F's freshman year and it didn't cut it. And so I went to the school in Plaza Bonita Mall, which was Altus Charter School, and then from there all I got were A's. Can you believe that? Like how different mentally, how your state of mind can go from being depressed to being okay. You should take care of your mental health first, and then when you're able to do that, then you're able to accomplish so many other things. And then when you can't do that, it's a huge problem when it comes with school. And nobody believed me at the time. They thought that I was bullshitting, but like it has a huge effect. It really does. It has a huge effect in your life. I'm already getting tired. But yeah, that's like a huge majority of my life, like right there. And I'll make another part of the surgery maybe tomorrow if you guys want. I'll put another vote up for that again. But if you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up. And I'm trying to talk faster because Chubby Chub always gets in my way. And so yeah, subscribe.